John O'Hurley, known for his iconic roles on shows like Seinfeld and Dancing with the Stars, recently made a humorous remark about his time on The Young and the Restless. In an interview, he joked that he didn't think he kept a single patient alive during his time on the soap opera. Fans may remember that O'Hurley played the character of Dr. Jerry Andrews, a prominent physician in Genoa City, and his role was often tied to the medical drama that unfolded on the show. However, despite being a skilled doctor, his character didn't exactly have the best track record when it came to saving lives. Let's take a look back at O'Hurley's memorable stint on The Young and the Restless and break down what he meant by his comment. Dr. Jerry Andrews was introduced to viewers as a compassionate, caring doctor who seemed to be deeply invested in his patients. However, despite his professional demeanor, the character found himself involved in a number of medical crises, and unfortunately, many of his patients didn't fare well. Dr. Andrews' first major storyline involved treating a series of patients in Genoa City, but the situations he found himself in didn't always end with a positive outcome. Whether it was due to the nature of the medical issues or the sheer complexity of the cases, O'Hurley's character never quite managed to pull off the miraculous recoveries we often see on soap operas. Instead, his patients seemed to fall victim to the drama that often surrounds soap operas, and Dr. Andrews' medical abilities were more often questioned than celebrated. For example, one of the most memorable moments involving Dr. Andrews was when he tried to help a patient who was facing a life-threatening condition. Despite his best efforts, the patient's condition deteriorated, and the storyline ended in a tragic death. The storyline was intended to showcase the complexities of life and death in a hospital setting, but it certainly wasn't a victory for Dr. Andrews' character. John O'Hurley's lighthearted comment about not keeping a single patient alive comes across as a tongue-in-cheek acknowledgement of the often grim realities of his character's role. On soap operas, doctors and medical professionals are usually portrayed as heroes who save lives and make life-changing decisions. But in Dr. Jerry Andrews' case, his tenure on The Young and the Restless was filled with more failures than successes. Despite this, O'Hurley's portrayal of the character was far from lacking in depth. He brought a certain charm and likability to Dr. Andrews, even as his character navigated the more tragic aspects of life in Genoa City. His performance as a well-meaning but occasionally ineffective doctor added an interesting layer to the show's medical storylines. Fans appreciated his chemistry with the other characters, even if his character wasn't always the hero of the hour. While O'Hurley's time on the show may have been short-lived, it certainly left an impression. His remark about not keeping a patient alive also reflects the reality of being part of a soap opera where plotlines are often driven by dramatic twists, and not every character gets a happy ending. It's a reminder of how soap operas work. Sometimes the doctor doesn't save the day, and sometimes things don't go as planned. This sense of realism, paired with the character-driven drama, is what makes The Young and the Restless so compelling for viewers. O'Hurley's self-deprecating humor adds to his charm, and it's clear that he's not taking himself too seriously when reflecting on his role. In fact, his comment about not keeping a single patient alive is an example of how actors on soap operas often have to adapt to the unpredictable nature of their roles. It's not always about saving the day, it's about playing the part with conviction and making the most out of every scene. In conclusion, John O'Hurley's time on The Young and the Restless as Dr. Jerry Andrews may not have been marked by life-saving moments, but his character's journey was memorable nonetheless. His lighthearted reflection on his role is a reminder of how unpredictable and sometimes tragic soap opera storylines can be. While Dr. Andrews may not have been the hero we all expected, O'Hurley's portrayal of him added an interesting dimension to the show. And, even though he didn't save his patients, he certainly won over the hearts of The Young and the Restless fans with his humor and charm.